And the excitement is still filling the air, ladies and gentlemen. Some of my friends have just been nominated. I'm excited for them, and I hope they win. If all my friends won tonight, it would be like mago mago, but God is in control. Anyway, you can follow us on social media, join the insanity going on online right about now, TFAA 2017. That is the hashtag.
Yes, indeed. And to keep up with all of our talented and beautiful nominees, you can check out their profile on our website. The web address is awards.thefutureafrica.com. And ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a woman who won the Young Person of the Year back in 2010, our biggest category here at the Future Awards Africa. Her name is Dr. Ife Anyoba. She's also a senior research scientist and a principal investigator. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for making that time to be here with us today.
It's a pleasure.
You were the winner of the biggest category in 2010.
Yeah.
Tell us how you felt about it back then.
It was absolutely amazing. I wasn't expecting it because I think at the time science wasn't something that was so popular amongst the youths. And I wasn't expecting to win because then I'd won the Young Person, the Best Use of Science award, and I just thought, that's it, you know. And all of a sudden, my name got called out, and I got really shocked. So it was really lovely. And also for me, it was something that made me feel like, you know, because I'm alone doing science all the time, I don't really get a lot of young people in science or being interested in it. So it just sparked that interest because I got a lot of emails, you know, and telephone calls of people saying to me, oh my God, like, I've always wanted to be a scientist or I've always wanted to do science, but I just never knew how to go about it. So I think it was quite good because it sparked interest in the science field, and that obviously made me very exciting.
Now, winning that award, how has that award helped you as a scientist, as a person, to offer more solutions to problems in Nigeria and your field?
You're doing something in your lab, you know, by yourself every day, and someone in another part of the world thinks, okay, well, you're doing well. So it's kind of like, you know, people are supportive of what you're doing. You're not alone, you know, because being a scientist is so lonely. You're in the lab all the time doing experiments, and half the time the experiments fail and you have to go back and do it again. So I got that sort of like nod, you know, like, you're doing good, we really like what you're doing and we support you. It was more supportive, especially coming from Nigeria, because, I mean, I did that whole science thing in England, and Nigeria, it's not really, you don't really...
We're not the science...
No, we're not very science conscious, to say. And so it was quite positive, I think. It was very positive.
And I'd love to know, you know, in terms of young people who want to get into science, because, you know, as you were saying, it's not something that is like the sexiest subject. Science is, you know, thought of as quite, you know, very academic and, you know, quite specialist in a sense. So what advice would you give to young people who do have a passion for science and want to pursue it when they're older at a professional level?
I think science is sexy. I don't know what you're saying.
I think science is very sexy.
If you actually, a lot of TV shows, you know, from Heroes to, I can't remember.
Hulk, the Avengers.
Everything, like the whole superhero thing, Spider-Man, is about genetics. You know, spider bites him, and then the spider's DNA gets incorporated into him, and he gets spider abilities, you know. It's all cool, and it's just the way we package it to young people. So I think what I'll talk about is, in the Nigerian context, children aren't allowed to be curious. You start to ask questions, especially when you're a girl. Don't ask questions, shut up, you know. It's not nice because it doesn't sort of like allow for curiosity. And so when you allow your child curious, they start to ask questions, and that's literally what a scientist is. You become curious about things and then investigate it till you find the answer to it. That's just basically what it is. So if people can start from just being curious and, you know, embracing all of that, then I think that's like the baseline. But in terms of actually going into the sciences, there's so many things you can do, you know. I know people think that scientists are just geeks, but I don't think, I think I'm cool, like, personally. So, you know, I have different things, like, I love poetry, I love movies, I love to dance, I love fashion. So you don't have to be just doing science. You can do so many other things, quite, you know, it depends on your personality as well. So if young people wanted to go into it, I think they should be encouraged, especially because Nigeria has a lot of diseases. And so in terms of infectious diseases, we need scientists to be innovative, and you don't have curious minds growing up, then we're not going to get so far.
Fantastic. So Dr. Anyoba, it's been 7 years since you won the Future Award for Young Person of the Year, all the way back in 2010. So what have you been up to since then?
Quite a lot, actually. 7 years is a long time. So I finished my PhD.
Congratulations.
And I've been working for quite a lot of organisations. So I've gone to Swaziland to work for a few years. Wow. I've also consulted for big organisations, from, you know, pharmaceuticals to NGOs. Also, I've been quite involved in innovation, and I got recognised, I think it was last year, by the Mayor of London. So I'm quite innovative with science because I just don't think that you should just be a scientist without actually impacting people's lives. So at the moment, I'm in Nigeria doing malaria research, and the whole idea is to understand what the circulating malaria parasites are in Lagos State. And so when we have that genetic information, then we know exactly what Nigerians are suffering from, and then we know exactly how to tailor the drug that we currently have, because at the moment, like, drug resistance going on with malaria parasites. And so if we get to a point where drug resistance happens, then people will be dying of malaria, and we don't want that. So as part of my PhD, I came up with a solution that actually allows us to track down resistance as it's happening. So it's specific to the African continent, actually. So it's going to be a very useful surveillance tool, so people can go into the lab and check it out and see, okay, is this resistant or not? And it's important for us to know that, because if we have to control resistance, then that would be good, because there's no new drugs in the development pipeline. So that's really important for us. Yeah. So, but that's kind of like in summary, but I've been quite up to so many things. One other thing that I've been involved in is an organisation called AfroScience, which I founded, which actually mentors young girls in science. Because, you know, growing up, I've only been the only girl or black person really in any class, and I realised that the reason why young girls aren't really interested in science, young African girls, is because they don't really have role models, and they don't see us on television, or they don't even hear about us. So that program has actually been going on in Nigeria for about 6 months, so hopefully you'd hear about that in the future.
Congratulations on everything you've achieved and everything that you're continuing to do.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
And let me just say this, you know, for the benefit of everyone watching this right about now, we need more people like yourself. We need more beacons, we need more role models, we need more examples to chart the way forward, because without you, the next generation would be no more. So please, please, and please pick yourself up a role model in a woman like this, and definitely your future will be brighter than the morning sun. Now, Dr. Ife will do us the honors in announcing the nominees of our biggest category of the year, the Future Awards Young Person of the Year 2017.
The nominees for the Future Awards Africa Young Person of the Year for 2017 are...
I want to say thank you so much for coming through, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
Every single time.
Yeah, we appreciate you. You were so inspired. I'm a bit too old to go into science, or else I would. It was really, really great. Well, wishing you the best of luck in all of your future endeavors, and hoping to see you back at the Future Awards very, very soon.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right, trick question. Just before we let you go, I always wanted to ask you a real scientist this question. Who is your favorite sci-fi fictional character?
I used to think Iron Man, but no, it's Spider-Man.
Oh, for real?
Only because of the genetics. I mean, it's quite ingenious, you know.
I thought you were going to go
Spider
with Doctor
him,
Who or H.G.
Doctor
Wells.
Who, no. Anything that's got genetics in it, it's got me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Doctor Who's more physics. I'm a geneticist, so definitely Spider-Man.
I love it. You're very specific. You definitely know the area of science.
Absolutely.
That you're passionate about.
Yeah, I love Spider-Man. Yeah.
All right then. And Spider-Man is a woman, actually.
Really?
Yeah, in the new
Never
comics.
heard that before.
Spider-Man is a woman in the new comics.
Oh, okay. Thank you for
all right, Doctor.
Arthur,
live long and
sharing.
prosper. Yes, indeed.
I love it. Well, it's now time for a very short break, after which we will be right back.
Gonna